Welcome to Truly Force Free's Trainer Quick Tip. Today I just want to cover briefly the differences between traditional training and positive reinforcement force-free training. I get this question a lot, so I wanted to address it. What is the difference and why have we changed? Traditional training has been around for over 100 years. It started really establishing itself around World War I and went through the world, and it is basically what traditional training is. It is a correction-based training. So you're always looking for what your animal is doing wrong so you can correct it. And eventually they learn out of fear and fear of being hurt, fear of being corrected, to not do that behavior. So they go through life just trying to guess what they shouldn't do, and then they have to guess what the right behavior is. So it can be very confusing. It does work, but it's really can cause a lot of stress and anxiety on your dog. So over the years, we've established positive reinforcement training. It started just by Skinner learning different things and really started to evolve into dog training. So I talk about it in detail in my book, The Evolution of Dog Training, but really what the training is with positive reinforcement is you're looking for what your animal is doing right so you can reinforce it so they're more likely to repeat that behavior. There's science and experience that shows that it's a less stressful way of learning. Dogs and animals can definitely learn by traditional training, but just like children can learn not to do things because they were spanked, hit with a ruler, maybe even hit with a belt, that doesn't build the bond, and it really doesn't help you learn in a stress-free environment. Learning works best when there's less stress. So positive reinforcement not only makes training less stressful, but it also makes it fun. Positive reinforcement training can be treats, clicker training. It can also be rewards from the outside world, that they sit and they get their food bowl. It doesn't always have to be very regimented, but if you start looking for the yes, what does your animal do right? What can you reinforce? It not only will build your bond, but it will make your animal want to learn more. If you're always looking for the no, and every time they do something wrong, you're punishing them and correcting them rather than showing them what you want them to do, their learning will happen, but it'll be more stressful and it won't be nearly as much fun. So training has changed over the years drastically. And if you have used traditional training in the past, that's okay, because that's what we all did. When I first started dog training, that was the only option. But as I grew as a trainer and even as a dog owner and a pet owner, I started to see that I didn't want to train my dogs always punishing them, using a choke chain, using a pinch chain, using a shock collar. All of those things were just hurting my animal, and sometimes they would shut down and they wouldn't learn at all. Once I was able to make that transition and crossed over from being a traditional trainer to a positive reinforcement trainer, my animals were happier, I was happier. It's just a way more fun and way less stressful way of training. So you can read more about positive training and how training has evolved over the years from traditional training all the way to the way we train now with positive reinforcement. And in my book, The Evolution of Dog Training, the reason I wrote the book was because I wanted people to understand that training has evolved. It doesn't have to be how we did it 100 years ago. You wouldn't go to a doctor who still did medicine from 100 years ago. You know, if you went into your doctor and they said they were going to put leeches on you to cure your flu, you'd run out the door. So we need to be thinking about that when we're training our dogs. If you have someone who's telling you that you need to punish your dog, put a choke chain, put a shock collar, put a pinch collar on them in order to get them to obey, you may want to look into other ways of training. And we have lots of options and things to explore on Truly Force Free. So check out trulyforcefree.com. If you have any questions, email us at info@trulyforcefree.com. We'd love to hear from you, and we hope to help you cross over from traditional training to positive training if that's your path. So we'll see you next time on the next quick tip.